Going on, everybody? Is the VG Mobster here, and today I'm going to be talking about games that are on my wish list for the Indie World presentation that's going down this afternoon. If you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for more. But without further ado, let's get into the games that I want to see from the Indie presentation. Alright, mobsters, here we go. Let's just start with two that I don't think are coming, unfortunately. We actually just got confirmation from the Golf Story developers that the sequel to the game, Sports Story, is definitely not coming. It's been delayed. Unfortunately, this is pretty bad. I was going to put this actually as one of my predictions, and then they came out and just really stopped that. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer on the sequel to Golf Story, which is called Sports Story. But unfortunately, we'll get through it. And then another game that will DLC that I don't think we're going to see is the Cuphead DLC, unfortunately. I am waiting and waiting and waiting for this to come out, especially since this is going to lead to a Switch physical release, which is what I'm waiting for. I'm going to buy the super duper collector's edition when it comes out. But unfortunately, based on the Summer Games appearance that they just had, it seems like they're going to need the rest of the year to finish off the DLC, because it's going to be not just a small expansion. I think they're going to have this be a meaty expansion to the game, kind of like Uncharted Lost Legacy. It's kind of like a Cuphead 1.5 this is going to be, I think. So it's just taking them a little bit longer, so we're definitely not going to see those, in my opinion, today. But a couple games that I really hope that we do see, and I wanted to cover them today. Some of these are just updates, some of them are games that I'm just going to predict that may come. So let's start with the first one here. A game that I think especially is overdue. It's been on every other platform, and I think the Switch is actually the best fit for it. Fire Pro Wrestling. This indie game is really good. Obviously, WWE 2K18 was a disaster on the Nintendo Switch. We are going to have that backyard WWE game coming out, but I don't think that's really what wrestling fans want. I think they want a solidly controlled and well-performing game, and Fire Pro Wrestling is a game that has been on many platforms, and I think will be perfect on the Nintendo Switch, and we may actually see it today. So just be prepared for that one. Let's go into the next one here. I want to hear an update on Axiom Verge 2. The sequel to Axiom Verge, one of the best indie games ever to come out, especially in the Metroidvania genre. This actually was announced in an indie direct last year. Hoping that we see more about this game. I know it's like a one-man team really doing the games. I know it's going to be hard to get that out there. But again, any updates, a new trailer, anything like that in Axiom Verge 2 would be really awesome and get a lot of people hyped, because the first game was so good. The next game I think we're going to see at this indie direct is going to be, I think it's time for Hollow Knight Silksong. I know Team Cherry has been really working hard at this. I think they're only like a 3-member team. But Hollow Knight Silksong is the one I think a lot of Switch owners are waiting for. The first one is definitely one of the top Metroidvania games as well, along with Axiom Verge, maybe even higher rated than that game. I think it's time for an update on this game. Maybe even a release date, they say early 2021. Even if we just got a new trailer for the game, I think this would blow the hinges off and everybody on the internet would go crazy, because the first game had such great reception. So Hollow Knight Silksong, that's another one that Don definitely wants to see today in the Indie Direct presentation. Let's go on to the next one here. Skatebird. Now, again, unfortunately, the Nintendo Switch is not, oh my god, this kills me to say it, we are not getting Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake on the platform. I hope we get it next year. Activision's been doing that. They've been giving games a year later on the Switch, so I'm just hoping for that because the early reviews have been really good on it. But since we're not getting Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, I actually really like this game. I saw the first trailer was in the Indie Direct. We haven't heard about anything since then. Skatebird. This looks like a really fun game that could kind of catch on, kind of like Untitled Goose Game did. And I think this would be a really good game to just get more information on because people are really looking forward to it, like low-key. They're not going to tell you, but low-key they're looking forward to this game. And then the next one, I'm going to go on and say we might even get an announcement for Fall Guys at this Indie Direct. Now this game, again, is making a big splash on PlayStation and PC. A lot of big streamers are jumping on and streaming it. Looks pretty fun, actually, the game Fall Guys, and I think this would be really good Nintendo Switch. The art style isn't too complex; it's just very bright and colorful. And again, nothing really so intensive that I think the Nintendo Switch can handle this and run the game really flawlessly. And I think because of the multiplayer, it'd be really fun to have on the system. So Fall Guys, that might even get announced today, and if it does, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's go into another one that I think actually has a possibility because the first Ori and the Blind Forest did really well on Nintendo Switch. I think Ori 2 has a chance to come today to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, at least get an announcement, trailer, and maybe a release date further down the line. But I think Ori 2 is such a good game, and I think the first one did so well on Nintendo Switch that they might even call out the thing and announce it. I think it's such a great fit for the system. The first one, like I said, did really well, so why not? I mean, Microsoft making a lot of money off these games coming to Nintendo Switch. Cuphead and Ori have been some of the best-selling games independently on the platform, so why not bring Ori 2? I mean, the game is tailor-made for the platform. A lot of the Switch owners would like it, and I mean, why not? Let's come and see it. I mean, Ori 2, again, I'm a little hesitant about Microsoft bringing another one of their games over, but you know what, at this point, I don't think if you bring it to Nintendo Switch, it's really going to affect Xbox Series X sales at all. So why not just bring it and get some extra money for the game, which is, on Game Pass. And again, the people that had Xbox that don't have Game Pass have already pretty much bought it. So why not bring it to a new audience who may not have or be in the Xbox ecosystem with Ori 2? I think that would be a great fit. I'm going to do two last ones here. My second to last one is going to be a game that I actually really enjoyed on the Nintendo Switch, and I think it was really creepy and it was really well done on the system, and that's called Layers of Fear, and I think we might get a sequel to it announced here. Again, the thing is with these indie directs is that obviously you're never going to be able to predict all of them, and you just got to throw darts at a board and see what sticks. But I think Layers of Fear 2, there's been some rumblings of a sequel, and I think that could actually be nice to go on Nintendo Switch, even if they announce it for like an October release, just around Halloween time. I think this would be a perfect time to do it when you got a lot of eyeballs on there. Obviously you can get Layers of Fear 1 sales back, and I think this would be a really good one just to kind of break it up and show some variety with the games, because at these indie presentations there's a lot of variety that they show regardless. So I think doing that in this presentation, and a good quality game like Layers of Fear 2 would fit in perfectly. And my last game that's kind of like a semi-prediction, but I also want to get more information on it, is Cyber Shadow. This game looks so good, and we just need more of it. I don't even have to go into it. This game is already announced at another indie direct, but again, it's kind of been silent since then, so we haven't gotten many updates on it. So, you know, Nintendo, let's go make this presentation, you know, highlight some of those indies that we haven't gotten updates for. You know, and the Cyber Shadow will be one of the best ones. So, you know, these games, in addition to games that obviously they're indie developers, so you never know what's going to come out. We're probably going to get some turn-based RPGs. We might get some card game ones. We might get you know, all these games from different genres that you can never really predict. You know, I think that's the beauty of the indie directs, and I think that's why sometimes it's not fair that they get a bad rap, even though they're not mainline directs, because it brings a lot of creativity, a lot of different gameplay styles, a lot of different innovation and variety to the Nintendo Switch, and it makes it such an indie darling to have, because you can play these games portably or in dock mode and not lose really any performance because they're less demanding. So I'm actually really looking forward to this presentation, Monsters. I hope you enjoyed this video. What games do you guys think are going to be shown? What in this presentation or in other indie presentations? Just put it down in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts on this presentation and the next ones. And if you guys like these type of videos, make sure you hit that subscription button and the notification bell. And until the next one, mobsters, peace.